Okay, so I have taken my Windows 10 installation, which is inside this virtual machine on Hyper-V, and is currently installing the Windows 11 preview update. Definitely there's some CPU activity. When I try to connect, certainly didn't want to. Video remoting was disconnected, so let's give it another try. It is not allowing me to. So now, I guess we wait, see if this CPU usage dies down, and if I can actually get a remote session into Windows 11. Now, my assumption here is that as I can connect just with the console, doesn't have to be an enhanced session here, then I should be able to connect to this machine. But who knows? Windows 11 is such an early stage. Maybe that's not supported yet. I'm sure we'll quickly find out. So just as an update, it did go to 0 CPU usage and then went stopped, and now it's running again. So clearly there are installs going on, and there are restarts occurring. Let's try again. And we can see there's a bit of a screenshot going on there with the Hyper-V logo. So, okay, here we go. Let's try and connect again with the larger. Okay, it's not giving me options there. So here we go, working on updates. Microsoft, do your thing. Okay, we've hit 97%. It's been relatively steady. It's been about 5 minutes. Let's see what happens next. Okay, I now have the option to set my screen size. Okay, well, this is interesting. Slightly different icons. We've got our accessibility option. That's great. Let's give that a try. That would be a no. Or I just made the whole thing freeze. That's not a great start. Okay, because I'm completely impatient and immediately started clicking around rather than just logging in, I've managed to completely freeze this session. So I'm going to just check CPU's running at a steady 20 to 30%. Maybe still configuring parts of the update. Who knows? And go ahead and kill the session. Let's try to connect again. Okay. This time I think I'll just use that password. I guess I can pause the recording at this point and wait for it to log in. Okay, we are in. A beautiful picture of my kids there in a field, so it's brought along my preferences, which are fully expected. Let's have a look here. So there's that centered Windows button. Here are the pinned apps that we heard so much about. I can scroll. You can see I've got two sections here. Let's go to all apps. This looks like a pretty standard start menu. Okay, I can just start typing and it'll work. Let's see if we can get some OneDrive files. network. Well, I say that, I don't know if I've necessarily connected my OneDrive yet. I have, so I don't know. Maybe it's okay. It's to verify my account. Ah, there we go. Now we're starting to see some documents. Okay. So let's try there's our desktops. Let's go to desktop 2, my dev, my home. Okay. So let's see how that's going to work. Do I have VS Code installed? I do not, so let's go straight to Edge. Okay. It's trying to fire up my add-ons, which is great. Let's try this desktop switch. Okay. That's pretty nice and clean. Let's find VS Code. Everything's pretty much as normal with Edge. I don't think there's anything necessarily different I would expect there. It's independently versioned from Windows. Okay. So while that's running, let's jump to the other desktop. Quite interested in. So if I switch off my desktop icons and then I switch to the other desktop. Okay, so at the moment that's universal. Visual Studio Code. Okay. Like it so far. Okay, we got widgets. Look at our widgets. Okay, so this is equivalent to the, I don't want to say Cortana, but to the, how does that look on traditional Windows 10? My little widget box here, where I manage my interests and view my news stories. So that's just been moved to, oh, a bit of a black screen. Okay, we've been moved to this widgets button here, which is great. If I hit the window key, it brings up Windows. What else have we got here? So there's my normal user account options. There's my disconnect, shutdown, restart options. Okay, let's go into the settings. There was a bit of noise made about the settings getting an update. Okay, OneDrive. Okay, manage my backup folders. Okay, so I'm not going to enable that because I already have that enabled on other devices and I don't necessarily want to bring everything to this Windows 11 test environment. Let's check the Windows update. Okay. Interesting, because that same update was failed in the Windows 10 version, so makes perfect sense. I do like the colors and the icons. Pretty cool. What more is there to say? What have we got down here? Multitasking. Snap windows, automatically resize and arrange windows on your screen. Got some extensions here. When I snap a window, show what I can snap next to it. Show snap layouts when I hover over Windows Maximize button. We've heard a lot about that. Before we try that, let's just have a look what's under here under desktops. Okay, show all the open windows only on the desktop I'm using or on all desktops. And the same thing for Alt Tab. Okay, that's pretty cool. So if I Alt Tab here, I can see all the windows that are on this desktop. And if I switch to the other desktop, an Alt Tab, no, okay, that makes sense. I'm not seeing anything because there's nothing open. So now if I Alt Tab, okay. So now what we've got, Alt Tab shows open windows and 5 most recent tabs in Microsoft Edge. Interesting. Open windows and all tabs in Microsoft Edge. So that's good. That's an extension. Maybe this is available in Windows 10. I've not really looked for it lately. But you know, if we work with open windows, then Edge gets treated as a window. Whereas if I say open windows and 3 most recent tabs, you can see, you know, I actually have a breakout there between the different tabs within Edge, which is pretty cool. And of course, this setting is going to allow me to say, okay, 3 most recent tabs, 5 most recent tabs, or all tabs. That makes perfect sense. If you're one of those people who has, like 200 tabs open and they're all asleep, that might make your alt tab experience pretty miserable. So let's go with 5. Tile bar window shake. When I grab a Windows tile bar, shake it, minimize all other windows. Interesting. When I grab a Windows tile bar, well, I'm clearly missing something pretty obvious there. So let's hover. Okay, there's the widely spoken about tile options. So let's hover over here and let's say, let's put the system settings on the right here. Okay, let's throw VS Code here, and then we've got Edge here. Pretty cool. I assume I can do that from anywhere. So let's move Edge to here. Okay. Okay. Seems pretty intuitive. So let's check out some of these other features that have been claimed. Let's use the How to Geek article. So will your PC run Windows 11? I'm on the insider preview, so the PC health check tells me that my machine does not support it because the base CPU running on my host is not supported. However, as an insider preview, it will still install fine. Obviously, if you've been keeping up with this, you'll have heard recently Microsoft have said they're going to revise that list, those restrictions on the CPU. So you will need a 64-bit processor. I'm pretty sure that's for sure. But this piece around the 2.0 TPM module chip is under question, and also some of the backward support for certainly Intel chips. So don't look at the PC Health app and take it for its word as to whether your machine is supported. I think Microsoft have actually tried to pull that application now so people don't use it. So we've looked at the start menu in the center. We should be able to change the position of that. So let's see if we can find out where we do that. Start menu. Okay. Let's search for start. Is it just a case of right clicking? It may be. Okay. Nope, no options there. Taskbar settings. Okay. Taskbar alignment. There we go. So we can get back to a classic left-hand start menu if you want. Badges for unread messages. It's pretty standard. Hover or click on the far corner of the taskbar to show the desktop. Nothing new there. Okay. So let's switch across here. Okay, powerful multi-window, multi-monitor features. So we've looked at some of them. We've looked at how we can, pick and choose our layouts. We've looked at how we can go to different desktops. And then obviously the third dimension upon that, which we're not looking at because this is a single screen video, is that, we could have multiple monitors. And so therefore we can have multiple desktops on multiple monitors with these multiple tile layouts, which I think is going to be pretty cool once I get used to it, especially if Windows can get used to saving them. I don't know how durable or portable these desktop options are right now. Oh, there we go. So we found a choose background option. I was looking for that. So let's change the background there. And I'm looking for it to only change it on one of those desktops, which it did. It wasn't the one I right-clicked on, but that's okay. Nice to know we can do that. What else have we got here? So faster updates and one big update a year. Clearly can't test that yet. I'm not sure how in effect that is. Let's see if we can go back and look at the updates. Okay, check for updates. Update history. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why I should expect any smaller updates at this point, but maybe that is already in the works. Okay, one big update year, that's good. Be interesting to see if that works. A new store, so let's go to the store. Okay, I don't spend too much time within the store, so it doesn't look enormously different to me. I do believe they're meant to be doing a lot more in terms of trying to make this easier to use and faster and much more like you would use on your Android or iPhone. Really pushing to the App Store style of working. Android apps come to Windows 11. I know that's nothing's in this preview edition yet to support that, but it is coming. Cue all the jokes about the memory leaks. I think I saw some Twitter posts that said, well, hey, that support's always been there, just using another tool, which is now pretty much defunct. If Microsoft can get this to work. I've never really used Android apps on Windows, so it'll be interesting to see if and how that works. Widgets and Teams on the taskbar. So we've definitely seen the widgets. I'm assuming when the Teams integration comes along, maybe it will be tied in with this widget bar. Still to be seen. Okay, in the final version, we'll be able to add widgets from other applications to it. Gaming improvements, I'm not even going to touch on when I'm using this in a virtualized environment. Smart update, seems pretty good so far. Well, we'll be the judge of that. So I hope this was useful to give you a first look around Windows 11. I'll let you know what else I find out.